Welcome to week 6 of the second semester. This week we will be working on a Japanese woodblock print. Like all assignments, this assignment will be due on Friday, this time Friday, February 12th. The sketchbook drawing will be due on Tuesday, February 16th, since Monday is a holiday. Okay, the sketchbook for this week is to draw a staircase from life. So what I'd like you to do is to find a staircase either at school or at home or out and about town and sit down with your sketchbook and try to draw that staircase. Okay, on to the assignment. Here are some examples of Japanese art. Okay, one thing to note or to notice is that many depictions of Japanese art do not show traditional perspective that we have talked about in the past, that we've learned from the Renaissance drawings of artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, Japanese artists would use spatial sequences to show depth and space, or they would stack information one on top of the other, as we see in this vertical composition. Here's another example of some Japanese art. And much of Japanese art was depicted or created using woodblock prints. You see that use of vertical spatial relationships as opposed to showing a horizon line with vanishing points and depth in perspective. Here's another example. Once again, we see that representation of space in a different manner. This is similar to what you would find at an amusement park map or other maps that you'd see out and about town. Here are a couple more examples of Japanese art. The top picture is a very famous picture from an artist named Hokusai, and it's famous for the wave. The main subject of this painting is the mountain in the background, which is Mount Fuji. This is one of a series of many paintings showing Mount Fuji in Japan. Hey, Japanese art heavily influenced Western art. This is an example of that. This is a famous poster by an artist named Toulouse-Lautrec, a French artist, and he utilized Japanese styling in his work, and this is readily seen in this picture here. We see that use of non-traditional perspective, as well as flat shapes and more of a design tone to this work. Here's another example of Japanese influence on Western artists. This is from Claude Monet, and obviously a model wearing a kimono and Japanese subject matter. And we also have a lot of modern day examples of Japanese influence on Western culture. This is from an animated and comic book series, My Hero Academia. You may be familiar with it. Here's another example of Japanese comic book and animation called Naruto, which is utilized, or an example today of modern Japanese culture on American culture, being an influence on American culture and Western culture. Okay, it also goes both ways. There's a lot of Western culture that influences Japan as well. Okay, for the assignment, what we're going to do is we are going to make a woodblock style print utilizing images that will be found in Google Classroom. And here are the images here. What I'd like us to do is utilize a homemade method for recreating that woodblock print. And I'd like us to take these various Japanese elements and create that woodblock print. Okay, there is a link to another video showing the way that we're going to do this project. Okay, so I'd like you to take a look at that video and follow along and go ahead, and if you're at home, go ahead and use that process from that video, utilizing these various images here to create your own take on a woodblock Japanese print. Thank you. Have a great week.